Gong, a legend from the East Asian country of Korea. Many years ago, there lived a woodcutter. He was a very kind man who cared about the forest, and especially all the animals who lived in it. One day, when he was chopping down a tree,
Huh? What's that? Better take a look. A snake! Stop! Stop! Shoo! Shoo! Shoo!
the woodcutter couldn't just stand there and let the snake take the pheasant's eggs.
Oh! Are you okay, little mother? I hope your babies are all right.
The mother pheasant thanked the kind woodcutter with all her heart. Soon all the eggs had hatched, and the mother pheasant had 4 happy but hungry mouths to feed. The woodcutter dropped by every day to share his lunch with the fast-growing pheasant. And in no time at all, they had grown big and strong enough to fly off with their mother. Several years later, the woodcutter set out on a long journey through country he had never visited before. Along the way, he passed a temple with a large gong. And he stopped for a minute to say a little prayer to speed his trip, and then set out once more.
I'm so tired. I don't know if I can go on without a rest. I hope that I can find some shelter for the night. I need some place to sleep. Huh? It looks like a light shining. Why, what's that? Ooh. What's a beautiful house like this doing out here in the middle of the forest? Hello? Hello? Is anyone home? Is anyone there? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Please come in, weary traveler. You are most welcome to stop here and rest a while.
He couldn't believe his eyes or ears. What a beautiful and sweet young girl. But the woodcutter could not understand why a young girl like that would be living all alone in such an isolated and lonely place. She had fixed him a delicious meal of fish and vegetables and rice. But there was something strange about this girl, something strangely familiar.
I forgot where I was for a moment. You startled me.
Please.
Thank you very much. You know, you've been really kind to let me stay here like this.
The woodcutter was very grateful, yet he couldn't help feeling that something was very strange about that girl.
Did you know that this house has been haunted?
What?
There is an evil spirit in the room with us right now. It has waited many years for a night just like tonight.
Why, the woodcutter was too surprised to reply. What was she talking about? What spirits? He looked all over. Where were they? Strange.
Woodcutter, I have been waiting all these years for you. You've fallen into my trap just as I planned, Woodcutter. Surely you remember me now, the spirit of the snake?
Oh, my. The evil snake spirit had tricked the woodcutter, and she was not going to let him go.
I've been planning my revenge ever since that day. Surely you remember the day you killed a snake trying to rob a pheasant's nest? Did you think that was just an ordinary snake? Well, I am the ghost of that snake you killed.
Oh, snake spirit, have mercy, have mercy. I didn't mean to hurt you. I only wanted to protect the young pheasants. I wanted them to have a happy life. Oh, spare me, please.
The woodcutter pleaded and pleaded, but the evil snake spirit was set on having her revenge. But then the woodcutter began to weep, and the snake spirit started to feel sorry for him. She decided to give him a chance to save himself.
Woodcutter, your tears have touched me. I will give you one chance to save yourself.
Really?
If the gong in the temple at the edge of the dark forest should ring before the sun rises, I will set you free. No harm will come to you. But, Woodcutter, you must remain here with me until the gong rings. I will not let you out of my sight for an instant.
The woodcutter had not seen another soul in the forest, and who would ring the gong in the middle of the night anyway? It really wasn't a very fair chance after all, was it?
Woodcutter, the time will pass quickly. You had better think of a way to make the gong ring. You haven't much time.
The woodcutter bowed his head. It was hopeless. The old temple stood silently in the moonlight. There wasn't a person in sight. There was no one to ring the gong for the woodcutter.
Soon it will be dawn. Your time is quickly running out, Woodcutter. In a few more minutes.
Just as the snake spirit was about to grab the poor woodcutter...
What? How could this happen? There's no one else around for miles.
But the woodcutter was just as surprised as the snake spirit. He didn't know who had rung the gong, but he was very happy.
The gong rang. The gong really rang. I'm saved. Thank you so much.
Woodcutter, you have succeeded in doing what I asked. I will keep my word. You have your freedom, and I shall never bother you again. A promise is a promise.
Suddenly, the snake spirit was gone, along with the beautiful house, leaving the woodcutter sitting on a tree trunk in the middle of the forest. And so the woodcutter headed home. He walked until he came to the old temple. He stopped in front of it to give his thanks. And then he decided to have a look at the gong that had saved him so mysteriously.
Oh. The pheasant rang the gong.
Yes, the pheasant had rung the gong. She knew the kind woodcutter was in danger, so she flew into the gong to help a friend who had helped her.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
The woodcutter was very sad about his good friend and very touched by what she had done to save him. He would never forget her.
Goodbye, good friend.
Suddenly the heavens opened, and the good mother pheasant was transformed into a radiant spirit. because of her kindness and loyalty, she was guided by a beautiful beam of light and accepted into the heavens. There she would remain happy and safe forever and ever.